think if I get the root of what I think your question is, I think what has actually happened is that our societies have become feminized in recent years, and we're dealing with the consequences of that. And when I say that, I say that there are certain.
That is what I'm asking.
Yeah, there are certain feminine traits which are in politics now, which didn't used to be. For instance, compassion being incredibly important. The carer in chief. Joe Biden has to be like the most empathetic man in America.
Yeah.
When a flood occurs, he's got to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about this flood." And now as a man, tend to think, I assume you're not pro-flood. I assume you're not like, thank God that hurricane hit Florida and all those people lost their homes. God, damn, that was a good day. I'm assuming he's not thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that when some natural disaster happens, he's anti-natural disaster like I am. But that's not expected anymore. It's expected that he has to say how sad he is. He has to show how sad he is. Now, in the case of Joe Biden, I mean, Donald Trump, everyone is bad at this. But Joe Biden, talks about himself and says, look, I've had a couple of terrible things happen to me in my life. Again, that's not that comforting.
You got to have a story like it's American Idol.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not going to vote on the saddest one afterwards and award the winner to saddest story. But that thing. I mean, look at Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand. When she came in, everyone said, "Oh, she's just so wonderful. Why is she so wonderful? What's so great about her?" She's so empathetic. Now she does, because she's got this horrible, horrible way of communicating, where she just drips this kind of folk about about everything.
Yeah.
About everything. She was at the UN yesterday whining about the climate or something, and she just talks as if she's trying to emote more than anyone else in the room, as if she is the soul.
I care more.
A soul of emotion. Then you're like, oh, you're so wonderful. No, it turns out horrible political leader. And actually, when it comes to compassion, not compassionate at all about the people of New Zealand when it came to lockdown.
It's always like that in real life, too.
Like Trudeau. Trudeau's the same thing.
Trudeau's exactly the same
He's
beast.
like this.
Oh, yeah. I care the most. I'm so caring. But if you don't like me, I'll get you silenced and locked up and your career ruined, and we'll get you debanked. But I'm caring. Mm-hmm. My point is,
and it's like in real life, the mother that's just like, oh, I care more than other mothers. Like sometimes, most of the time, that screws the kid up.
Right.
Like that didn't actually help.
And I actually, cynic that I may be on this, I tend to think now that the person who tries to campaign to be the most emotive and empathetic person is most likely to be a bastard.
Yeah.
And by the way, the opposite can be the case. A lot of politicians and public figures who are thought to be very stern and so on are lovely human beings, because the competition and politics is not about who can be the loveliest person. And so that has entered our societies. I gave the example of politics, but you could do it at almost every level of the society.
They've sort of said at schools now, it's like dudes are like underperforming chicks at like a pretty high rate.
Well, yes, because all of the masculine qualities we've been told are toxic. I mean, I would hate to be a young boy growing up today.
Well, because all the teachers are broads too. Like,
well,
it was always true.
It was always
Was
a
it?
disproportion among. Not the older you get, from about kindergarten to like the
grade
age of
6, right?
Is like always been female dominated. But
That makes sense.
which makes sense. But this clamping down on the male virtues. I mean, there are several things we very badly need, and one of them is male virtues. I think we also could do with a bit less of the worst female virtues, or at least we should say, look, these can lead us wrong as well. Like,
there's a positive and negative to everything, and a time and a place where they're both needed, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, take the obvious example. A very tough situation your country's going through. You might want a bit of the like, look, I sympathize with you as your leader or whatever, and we're all going to get through this together. But you don't want them to be crying, okay?
Yeah.
You don't want them to be crying. You need them to be tough and stoical and they need to say, we're going to get through this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You have to have built up a reservoir of toughness through your life. Now, by the way, that doesn't have to be only men. When the COVID thing happened in the UK,
But it's masculine.
Well, yeah. Well, I'd say it's masculine. It's a more dominant masculine trait, but women can do it as well. I mean, it was the Queen who led the UK through the COVID thing by just saying, we're going to get through this. And now, if she just sort of cried and said, "I can't believe we've all been kept apart," then they would have gone,
fucked. What?
So, but the point is, it's a bit of damn stoicism is required.
Yeah.
And at some point in the last generation or two, that got beaten out of everybody. And I think it's a profound shame as well as a disaster because, and again, there are times when in your life you need somebody to say to you, sit down, tell me what's happened. And that person needs to listen carefully and compassionately to you. And there are other occasions when somebody needs to stand over your life, tell you to get the hell up, put your shirt on, and get out there. And you need both of these things at some point in your life. Now, do you need them in equal measure? No. And it'll vary throughout your life. You certainly... Now, at some point in the past, that first one was less common. Like, talking through your problems, explaining your problems, used to be undoubtedly in all of our societies much less of a thing. And there were some consequences from that. But there are some consequences from the let it all out society as well. There's some consequences from that. There's some consequences to having people boasting about their mental illness all the time, I mean, the one like certified PTSD. Certified, oh my. You are impressive. Look at you. Look at you with your certificate.
Card-carrying member.
Oh, a whole wall of certificates of your mental disorders. Well done, you. I mean, there are consequences. By the way, one consequence from that nobody speaks about, for instance, is if you do that, you will be applauded at the moment. But you know what? People won't want to employ you.
Of course, right?
Right. The society doesn't tell people that. They don't say that if you come out and go, I have profound mental illness issues, that your next employer might look you up online and go,
yeah, I'm good on that whole
might
thing.
go with that reliable person there.
There's so many people that post online. They'll be just like, my company's like discriminating against me because all I said was that like at training, I'm going to need a whole separate seminar just for myself.
Yeah.